And we are live. Good morning, my friends, and afternoon around the world. You are watching on your TVs on the Smart Money Culture TV network in Texas and Louisiana, and as well joining around the world on our wonderful platforms like X and YouTube and LinkedIn and all the rest. It is a lot going on here in the United States. There's a lot going on in the world. The DNC kicks off. Man, they got that place locked down tighter than I don't know what. You got to give your ID to get in. Everybody's laughing about that. Of course, you don't have to show your ID to vote. I think, right? That's their whole thing. That's can't have that. But you got to show it to get in to the DNC. Well, that is the case, I think. But they are really locking that place down. A 5-mile perimeter is what I was reading last night. Setting up a 5-mile perimeter, and of course they have all kinds of bad actors and everything around there. You have every different group from around the world, from what I understand. There you have all kinds of different groups that are there for whatever reason, and they're doing their deal. But I expect that to be okay, and I hope that everybody is safe. I hope everybody is safe. It is a bit of a show. Of course, you have a lot of us have been wondering if Hillary Clinton has been waiting in the wings and is ready to go. Of course, I haven't seen anybody suicided yet, so I'm not sure. Who knows? It looks to me at this point. I was saying before that I thought that maybe Hillary was going to come in. Bill Clinton's Wikipedia page has been doctored extensively, and they've taken out a bunch of stuff as well. So I thought, well, maybe they're setting up for that, but I don't know. Who knows? Camilla seems to have found her, hit her stride, I should say. Who knows? We'll see. I can tell you, I was around a few of my different friends. I was around some family, and they were. This is my extended family, not the people that are my immediate family, but they're pretty happy to vote for Camilla. They were excited to vote for Camilla, to be honest with you, and they hate Trump. So who knows, guys? We are going to see. We'll see what happens there. Who knows? I think that the sad part is, I don't know if it's the sad part, but man, I'll tell you what, man, Trump has really he's doing a lot of things lately, and I'm not even sure really that he's trying to win anymore. And I know that's a funny thing to say, but yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't know. I mean, maybe he just wants to collect his $100 million and whatever, but certainly that is not not making his voters excited. Let's say that. So markets are pretty interesting here. We have, I guess it's pretty much to be expected. You have, of course, the Fed meeting there in Jackson Hole. I think they're pretty much in Jackson Hole all week. This is where you want to be if you're in the central banking cartel this week. You want to be there in Jackson Hole. So they're there. He's going to give his speech this weekend. So his speech will be Friday. And the markets are probably going to tread water until, they're going to be pretty choppy. Although I think, to be totally frank, the markets are going to be fairly choppy until September, October. October is called October for a reason, because the markets go up. Right now, people are still going back to school. A lot of kids actually have school starting this week. And then some people, of course, have school starting next week. And, kids are going back to college. They're going back to school. They're busy. I just got off of vacation. I was at the beach for the week with my kids. Of course, I still did the show because that's what we do. But it's a lot of fun. And that's what people do. Good morning. It's Valentine's contest. Y'all are behind. It's Valentine's contest. What do you mean Valentine's? It's not Valentine's contest. It's not Valentine. Okay, all right, hold on. What do you mean it's not Valentine's contest? What are you talking about? Getting some comments over here on on Instagram. It's not Valentine's contest. I'm not sure. You got to clarify what you're talking about. I get some of my comments right here on my stream, and Instagram's not one of them, so I have to toggle back and forth. That's why I don't see it sometimes right away. Can you read? Valentine's. Yeah, I'm reading. All right, let's see here. Pressure mounts to reduce interest rates as more and more people understand the central banking cartel's unfettered rule over the United States. End the Fed. We got to end the Fed. Talk about it all the time. End the Fed. End the Fed. Things have they are reaching a fevered pitch. Vote for the Republic. Yeah, I agree. Vote for the Republic. There is really no question who probably is going to do a better job. Even if, we're not going to agree on everything that anybody's doing, right? But there is no question who's going to do a better job. There's a lot to be done, though. I don't think that we're going to be able to end the Fed this term, okay? But we can set the things up to do it, right? One of the things that Trump talks about a lot is deregulating the energy. Deregulating different things, all that type of stuff is very good. We need to push all that stuff forward, and then we hopefully can get somebody in there like this guy, or maybe I'll run for office. And the Fed. It really is something else. And guys, when you look at, really, X is going wild. The world's going wild. There's a lot of noticing going on, huh? There's a lot of noticing going on. There's a lot of noticing going on. It's impossible not to notice what is going on. It's a lot of noticing. So that's it's first time in my lifetime there's been so much noticing. Let's put it that way. And we got to do something about. We got to do something about that. A big way is to end the Fed. To end the Fed, end the Federal Reserve. This guy right here has introduced legislation to end the Fed. We need to talk about it every day. We need to bring it up to more people. We need to show more people, here's what we need to do. We need to end the Fed, okay? We need to end the Fed. It's a very important step. We need to have AIPAC register as foreign agents, just exactly what John F. Kennedy made them do when they were called AZC, the American Zionist Council. We need to make them register as foreign agents so that we know who's getting bribed, so that we know what bribes are going on, and that they have to register them. We start to get power back to our governments. Powell changes his tune every meeting. He does. There's no doubt about that. Powell changes his tune. He's just the Fed chair. He came out. It was interesting. Powell came out in his speech last time, not sounding very dovish. So per se, everybody was expecting him to sound a bit more dovish. It didn't sound that dovish. And then I think he got some calls there from the big guys that say, "Hey, look, buddy, you better sound dovish, and you are going to lower interest rates." And he came out and did some tap dancing around. And yes, we are going to lower interest rates. Talking 50 basis points. I don't think it's going to be 50 basis points. I think it's probably going to be 25 basis points. They're going to lower interest rates. But he knows that they're printing so much money, he doesn't really want to lower interest rates. But it's an election year. I don't know if you've gone and filled up your gas tank recently, but you'll notice that gas is cheaper. Right? It's cheaper than it's been this whole time, almost. Gas cheap right now. $3 we're paying around here. I think I paid $3.17 on the way back from Delaware. I mean, cheap's a relative term, right? But yeah, gas cheap. Actually, a barrel of oil right now is cheap. $75 a barrel, something like that. Like I said, cheap's a relative term. Gold, though, now gold's on a tear. Gold's on a tear. I hope you guys have taken advantage of our deal here at Cost Metals. At Cost Metals, you guys should go and join. Gas is $6 in California. Man. I mean, I love California. I love California. I love the California girls. I love California. But man, I mean, you really got to love California to stay out there at $6 a gallon. Plus, man. They got, it's crazy. It's crazy. And everyone's like, oh, we'll just cut off California. I'm like, you gotta cut off California. California's nice. Whatever you do, keep California. If you want to run a thing like, I don't know who it was, I forget which president it was, the deportation thing, they called it Operation Wetback. That was what it was called, Operation Wetback. And they actually, if my memory serves me correct, they deported about 5 million people. That's a lot. 5 million's a decent amount. I'll tell you what, there's about 5 million people in my local area here that could use deportations. Truth is, if we ran a proper deportation force right now, it would be at least 20 million. Really, we probably have north of 50 million people that have entered illegally. A lot to do, though. We got to get rid of that birthright. And we got to, coming over here and just having it's a mess, guys. It is a mess. You got to start somewhere. But, guys, get some at Cost Metals. At Cost Metals. Buy gold, silver, palladium, platinum at cost. Get the gold and silver and everything for the same price that the dealers do. I refuse to drive a Tesla. I love those Teslas, man. I want a Cybertruck. But I hear you. I mean, they're nice cars, though. When in Dubai, almost like when you order Uber or whatever, they're almost always a Tesla. You get the Uber Black or whatever, and it's always big old nice Tesla. They're nice. They're nice cars. But I hear you. I want that Cybertruck, though. Cybertruck, I'm pretty excited about the Cybertruck. I'm going to get one. I'm not going to be able to hold myself back. That's my problem. They have the anchor babies. My friend Leah here on Instagram. I broadcast at Modeling Agent on Instagram. I'm a Generation Xer, so I'm not the biggest Instagrammer, but I do have a following over there. At Modeling Agent. I used to staff a bunch of models back in the day. That was a lot of fun. Sanctuary cities. Trump says he's going to finish those sanctuary cities. It's pretty crazy. But the best thing you can do is have an anchor baby. You come over here. And like I always say, guys, I don't blame the people for coming. I would come. If I was some Joe Schmo, wherever, I'd be here, man. Get some nice, pretty American girls. Have a family. Have the state pay for it. Heck, I don't even have to stay. Come here. Have some kids. Go back home. Live cheaply. Get my status here, and some of them are going back and forth, and they're not even really keeping a good thing of who they are, and so they're registered. They're coming back and forth like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times, and they're getting money. They're getting like $1,500, $2,000, whatever a month from each time they come over. They're making like 20 grand a month from the state. From us, we're paying them. It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't think we can survive like this. Mom, what's up? Looks like my mom just joined. Ginger Lee. What's up, Mom? Watching on Instagram. Will Trump win the election? I don't know, man. It kind of doesn't seem to me like he really wants to win anymore. I know that's kind of a funny thing to say, but he's doing some really strange things lately. I'm a Trump guy. I mean, I've been a Trump guy for a long time. Ha! Hi, son, my mom says. But I don't know if he's going to win or not. I mean, they're going to send him to jail. I think more than likely he's going to jail in September. I think they're going to sentence him like September 15th or 18th, or something like that. And as much as that is okay, whatever, it's not really. I don't know if any of you guys have ever been to jail, but it's the psychological effect on the voters, I think, is going to be something else. Everyone's like, oh, he's going to for sure win then. I don't know, guys. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I hope he wins. But I hope he comes back and takes care of his base, because what I'm seeing lately is him just taking care of everybody else except us. I mean, I get it, I guess. He already has our votes. I guess that's his game. He's already got our votes, he figures, so go get some more votes. I don't know. Been left out my whole. We've been Generation X, man. We got screwed our whole lives. So I'm used to it, I guess. Thoughts on geopolitics? Well, I don't think that Israel's going to last. I think that they're going down. I don't think they're going to last 10 more years. That's my latest thing. I hope everybody understands that is just a corporation started by the Rothschilds and the central banking cartel back in 1948. A lot of other stuff I hope you guys understand that I don't go into too much. But they are still going to be very much in control of our different Western countries through the central banks, APAC, or these different types of NGOs and everything else. I think that I don't think they're going to win that war over there. I think that it's just a mess, and they're just. I mean, they've killed 30,000 plus people. Oh, the numbers aren't right. Those numbers aren't right. Yeah, okay. What is the number then? More than MAGA to win. Yeah, we need more than MAGA to win. Yeah, but you want us to vote too. I'll tell you what, I'm not excited about voting right now. And I know there's a lot of people scratching our heads. What am I voting for? Will Iran intervene? Well, they already kind of are. But I think that especially now that Putin got involved, they are a bit more, they've decided to intervene a bit more like, like they said the bomber that didn't really do his job, or I guess yesterday. I don't know if we'll see like a full-scale war from Iran. I think it'll be more of an asymmetric type of war. So I think they're already doing that. I think they probably have been doing that. But yeah, I think in today's age, everybody looks at that Israeli flag and all they see is blood dripping off the sides of it. They look at that star and they just see blood coming off the sides of it. I don't think that there is any way for them to fix what they have done. There doesn't, I just don't, you know what I mean? That's just, you can only kill so many babies and mommies and call it collateral damage. I mean, what was there, like 1,700 or 1,500 people that died on October 7th or July 7th or whatever it was, or whatever it was. It wasn't July. Whatever that attack was. And most of them, it looks like, or a lot of them were actually done by them by Israel. That's like that's their thing. I guess if it's like one of their doctrines, if it starts to go bad, they just kill everything. So anyway, I don't think people are going to get over that as much as they want to. I think in Ukraine, we're going to have a continuous war there for a bit. They really, you have NATO, just the armaments over there. It's a big money-making thing. I mean, everyone's just making so much money. They're all making so much money that nobody wants the war to start. The bankers are making so much money. And the bankers, the central banking cartel, wants us all to kill each other. That serves their end. You're right. It was October. It's already been a year almost. How about that? A year. These guys have been it's crazy. Anyway, let's talk about the markets. I have a market report from our good friend Matt Dixon. Matt is on vacation this week as well, but he recorded a good market report for us because he is the man, right? He is the man. Oops, that didn't work. Got it right here. See what is in store. Are you guys trading the market? I'll tell you what. I made some nice trades over the week, and then I had to use my experience and stay out of the market. A lot of times you can overtrade. It's one of the worst things you can do is overtrade. I don't know worse, but it can be one of the worst things. Wait for the right moments. Be patient. Wait for the market to do what it's going to do. Wait for the signals. We talk about this all the time, and that's how you win. Here's the market report. I got the great Matt Dixon here.
Good morning, Bruce. Good morning, Impact Money viewers. Hope you had a lovely weekend. We'll jump straight in to have a look at gold because there's been some positive news on the international front with Taiwan holding reserves of gold to back their currency. And I think this is going to become more and more widespread as gold is that true store of value in this world of very variable currency fluctuations. So looking at gold here, we reached a brand new all-time high. This is exactly what we anticipated in previous Impact Money where we said that gold was going to reach. Now, readjusted the labeling slightly here. Potentially, I've got wave 3 here in blue and a further high there to come in wave 5. But either way, we anticipated this new all-time high for gold, which is precisely what happened over the weekend. And we still anticipate further new highs to come in the future. So the backdrop for gold is really sound. And I think we will see multiple new all-time highs for gold. If this labeling is correct now, and I think it probably is, we have on this fractal in blue, we have a 1, 2, 3, probably 4 and 5 to come, which would take us new all-time high. But on a larger fractal, that still only takes us to a wave 3 in red. We then have a wave 4 down and a further wave 5 to new all-time highs again. And we could even look at larger fractals and see if there's potential for even further price highs on gold. I suspect there may well be, because we are in basically an uncertain world from a currency perspective, interest rates, etc., and all sorts of geopolitical, macroeconomic troubles around the world. So currencies are going to be maybe a little bit shaky compared to each other. But when we look at hard currencies, effectively like gold and also like Bitcoin and some cryptocurrencies, then potentially these are a good store of value. So that's gold. And as I say, very constructive, looking for positive moves ahead. We'll jump into Bitcoin next. So just taking a look at Bitcoin, the markets have been treading water a little bit, and that's very, very indicative or typical of a correction. And I actually do believe that we have had a correction in Bitcoin, and we're still in a minor correction. So looking at the longer term here, we've had a wave 3 high, I think, which was the all-time high for Bitcoin of 73,000 and change. And then I think we've had some kind of wedge pattern here, which is a continuation pattern. And we'd expect new highs to come in Bitcoin at some point in the future. But short term, we're in this consolidation zone here. But longer term, this looks like it's part of a wave 4, which could be a triangle. as it's labeled here. Triangle is broken down into an A, B, C, D, E. They're choppy waves. So basically, choppy wave A, wave B, wave C, wave D, and wave E. Wave E being the only wave which is allowed to overshoot the trend lines, which is exactly what it did here. And then we pushed up, and within that push up there, we actually got 5 smaller waves. So if I open it out just a little bit, we can probably see, I probably need to open it out some more for you to see that. Yeah, you can just about see there now. Just expand it some more. And we can see basically from the bottom there of the wave E, we've got a wave 1 up to there, 2 down to there, 3 up, 4 down, 5 up. That makes a larger wave 1. Now, the interesting bit we need to focus on now is the correction. Now, it does look corrective. What I did, I measured the Fibonacci measurement from the top here to the bottom as 100%. And then what I look for is the retracement. Now, if it's a wave 2 retracement, the rules are that it's not allowed to go further or lower than this wave E. But that would be extremely unusual. Normally, the retracement is somewhere around the 50 to 61.8% area. So in this sort of zone here would be where I would expect the retracement to go to for wave 2. So we've not quite reached it, but we're around about that area. It's close enough. I'm reasonably happy. It's not an absolute rule. It's just a general guideline that wave 2s are normally the deeper of the pullbacks when you compare wave 2 and wave 4. But there is a rule of alternation. So if you get a shallow wave 2, you often get a deeper wave 4. You also get alternation of waveforms as well. But that in mind, if this is a shallow wave 2, then we'll expect maybe later on a deeper wave 4. But following wave 2, the next wave you would expect is a wave 3 to the upside, which is normally the extended wave, and it's normally at least 1.618 times wave 1. So what we can do, if I remove that Fibonacci measurement there, and what we can do is just measure the size of the wave 1. So I just measure from the top of wave 1, bottom of wave 1. Now, assuming we've finished wave 2 here, and it's not certain yet, but I'm just assuming we've finished wave 2 here at this level, and I put my Fibonacci measuring tool there, and we'll just see where 1.618 takes us. So 1.618, this would be for wave 3. So anticipating potentially a wave 3, I'll just put 3 in there so you can see. In fact, I think I'll need to just make that one larger in blue so as it matches. So you can see now we have wave 1 up from the bottom, wave 2 down, wave 3 up. Wave 2, as I say, is very typical, kind of choppy movement overlapping. We can see the movement up here. Certainly, even the movement up here, it's all overlapping basically. The movement here overlaps the movement down here, and so on. So this is what's called a corrective move. It's against the trend. The trend is higher. The next wave after wave 2 would be expected to be the extended wave 3. Mid extension for a wave 3 is normally 1.618. This Fibonacci number here, very, very important, the golden ratio. So we would expect a minimum movement to 1.618. That would take us to 78,000 for Bitcoin. And with cryptocurrency, you normally or very often see larger extensions. 2.618 is not at all uncommon. So if we went to 2.618, that would potentially take us to 91,900 for Bitcoin for the extension higher. So whilst we may be choppy at the moment, treading water, and this is the time when a lot of retail traders just get bored of holding their position. They often come out of their position, maybe take a tiny profit, break-even profit, whatever, because they see it going nowhere, and they basically run out of patience and just take a tiny profit, thinking, oh, it could go down. They're afraid, the fear and greed. There's actually a reasonable amount of fear in the market. We won't look at fear and greed today, but it is actually on quite a low reading, which means that the fear is relatively high. And because there's a relatively high level of fear, it means that retailers, a lot of them are cashing out of the market at these sort of levels. And that would tell me that we're likely to be moving to the upside. That's often shown in divergence measures as well. And we'll look at that when we look at Solana in a minute. I've put a couple of divergences measures on there so you can see what's happening. So just to summarize here on Bitcoin then, we think we've finished this correction down here, wave E, and then we're moving up in 5 waves here as probably a final move to the upside, because this is a wave 4. Remember, and I'll just go back again to expand it out again. Remember, this is a wave 4. So we've got wave 3 here and a triangle wave 4. And remember, wave 4 can, a triangle can only be in either a wave 4 or a wave B position. That's where we'd expect there to be a triangle. There's other corrective patterns like an X wave, that kind of thing, but basically they're corrective patterns, but pre-terminal corrective patterns. So these are pre-terminal waves, and then the final wave from it is what's called a terminal wave. So we'd actually expect the terminal wave to be in 5 waves. We've got 1, 2, 3, which, as we said, 3 could even go much higher, then 4, and then 5 again, even higher. So a bit like gold, we do expect new all-time highs to come. And there's a lot of similarities growing now between Bitcoin and gold. Bitcoin is taking on more and more of a safe haven status, more and more becoming digital gold as the currency or as the cryptocurrency matures. So those 5 waves should be a terminal wave, and then we'd expect a more substantial correction. But short term, we expect quite a bit higher. The correction, as we said, may be over here already. We may have completed it, or I'll just open out to give you the alternative, which is not much different. But we may have had the 3 waves down for W, 3 waves up for X, and then the Y wave could be a slightly more complex 3-wave correction with an A, a B, and a C. So we could potentially, the Y wave could have been complete here, or we could just go a little bit lower maybe. And that would mean that, remember, this only took us to just under the 50%. We're allowed to go all the way down to the bottom of the E wave. That'd be unlikely, but a more common would relate. In other words, we might expect a little bit deeper for this Y wave. That's entirely possible before we take off to the upside. But this does look very, very much corrective to the downside. And I do expect, even if we have a little bit lower to go, we've got a lot of upside still to come on Bitcoin. And the chart is verifying that move. So I'll jump into, I mentioned Solana. So we'll look at Solana now and just look at some of the divergences we've had. Lots and lots of divergences to look at. So we had basically here, we had a hidden bearish divergence telling us that this downside, this downward movement here on price was going to be continued, precisely what happened. Then we got another push up, and then we got regular bearish. So this was hidden bearish. This is where you get lower highs on price and higher highs on RSI, which is what happened. But then we got a different kind of divergence, regular bearish, and there is where you have higher highs on price and lower highs on RSI. And this one tells you of a continuation of a downtrend. So a downtrend in price continued here. This one tells you of a reversal, shorter term here, reversal of an uptrend. So looking at this uptrend here, well, from here to here, it's telling you of a reversal, and you can see it precisely what happened. On the penny, on the dot there, we actually got a sharp reversal in price, sharply to the downside. Now, since that time, we've had basically a 5-wave move to the upside. So it's basically 1 to here, 2 to here, down here. It's 2, 3 up here, 4 and 5. So that's a 5-wave move. So that tells us the impulsive direction is to the upside. We now have a corrective movement to the downside. Just like Bitcoin, we could be complete already here. So it could be a W, an X, and a Y wave already complete, or the Y wave may extend a bit further. So then we'd have an ABC W wave, an ABC X wave, and then an ABC potentially Y wave. So potentially, again, we've got lower to go. Now, this is what's going to really shake up the retail market. They're going to be afraid that the market's going lower, the market's crashing, they're going to lose money, et cetera, et cetera. So fear is high in the market, as I said. And so a lot of people will taking either small profits, perhaps if they got in earlier, or maybe even taking losses if they got in at the wrong place. But that would probably be a precursor to a strong move to the upside, which I believe is coming. So this is impulsive upside, corrective downside. Whether it's from here or whether we go a little bit lower, then we expect a powerful impulse to the upside. So I'm still bullish, and I've been saying for some time now I'm bullish, but we're just in a corrective mode, and it just requires patience, I believe, to hold on to your positions. Hopefully you're not leveraged. It's not costing you anything to hold on to those positions. And I think there's very solid evidence that we're going to be pushing substantially higher to the upside very soon. So we'll just have a little look at XRP. Again, very similar story there. I think that we've had basically, and if we open it out, we'd see an impulsive little move to the upside, a corrective move to the downside, may well have further to go here. So it could be some kind of correction down, correction up, and a further correction down. So we may still have even a bit lower to go on XRP before we push again impulsively to the upside. But remember, the backdrop for XRP is quite positive now. We've had some positive conclusions with the SEC, which open the way forward potentially for XRP. And the charts are telling us that we should expect some upside to come soon. So just looking longer term on XRP, we can see, and I'll just compress that a little bit so we can see that longer term, we're in a basically very much a corrective sideways, slightly down move. From this push up here, we've had a WXY down here, and I think we are beginning to push higher. So because WXY is corrective, I expect a good movement to the upside. It should at least surpass that previous, and this was where we got the SEC news out about a year ago, which was very positive, gave us this massive pump in XRP, but then the price fell off again sharply down to 42, I think it was, and we dropped even lower following that. But this probably is the end of the correction, WXY correction. Quite a nice WXY, broken down nicely into ABC moves itself. And then we're expecting some positive upside movement. So I'm really quite keen for XRP there. Litecoin, again, very, very similar. I think we've had a strong push down, probably finished the move down, move quite strongly, impulsively to the upside. So that is positive in itself. We'll touch on, I think we should have a look at, well, we looked at gold. Oil has actually dropped off a little bit. That's telling us, I think, that there's geopolitical tensions are subsiding. There's been some positive noises coming out of the Middle East. So maybe that risk is reducing for the time being, and maybe that's why we're seeing quite a substantially lower oil price. And that, of course, is going to be good for inflation as well. If oil prices come down, oil and fuel are one of the main expenditures that business has, that even people have, with fuel, energy, also, everything related to oil. So as long as that's cheaper, it means inflation's coming down. It means that's a stimulus to the economy. And we did see retail sales pumping to a 1% increase, which was way above expectations. I think they're expecting 0.3, and it came out at a full 1% in America. So that was really positive. We are seeing dollar index dropping off. We're at the base of what appears to be some kind of wedge pattern. I don't know whether that's going to hold, whether we're going to break straight through it, but we did anticipate some further movement down on DXY. But basically, if the dollar index is moving down, that's because there have been a lot more noises coming out of the Fed about reducing interest rates at the next meeting. So it seems that they're reasonably comfortable that inflation is subsiding a little bit. And yet we do still have positive growth. So at the moment, it's leaning a little bit more towards a soft landing, which would basically mean that inflation is coming under control, growth is remaining robust, and that's actually a good sign, probably for risk assets. So I think that's the backdrop for risk assets, that we're going to see a lot more upside to come. And just very briefly, I'll just flip through very, very quickly. Toncoin, it had such an amazing run. It's just having, as we said the other day, we expected a little bit of profit taking, and that's precisely what we're seeing here. So all in all, I think it's a positive outlook. This is just a sort of roundup or summary for the expectations for the coming week. I think it's going to be positive. And I think that we'll see. There's not a lot of news coming out this week. I think we've got FOMC minutes coming out Wednesday. I think we've got Fed Chair Powell on Friday. But other than that, there's no particular news coming out. So That doesn't mean there won't be any movement, but bear in mind we are in the summer months. There's not a lot of news coming out. We may still continue on a bit of corrective sideways move, maybe just dropping off very, very slightly. But I think we're just building now, building a solid foundation for a big positive move coming forward, even though we're seeing a little bit of negativity pretty much across the board here. And then just finally, we're going to be coming out with we're actually going out listing, the eBay token is going to be listed on Wednesday with CoinStore. And we're going to be coming out with some opportunity news on that, probably on maybe tomorrow or Wednesday. That's one to look out for because I think there's a lot of opportunity there. It's an amazing token using the very latest technology to rate digital assets. So I think that's a real good use case and hopefully will be of interest to the market. So we'll come out with some more news about that. Hope this has been useful today and catch up again soon. Thank you for listening. Bye for now.
There you go, the great Matt Dixon with the market report. Always, it is always great to work with Matt. Matt and I have been, we've been working together for years. Took a little bit of time off there, and now we're back every morning on the Impact Money Show, working together. I'll tell you what, guys, I made a lot of money with this guy. Continue to make a lot of money with the guy, to be honest. Just follow our signals. I was hoping to have the website done by the end of my vacation, but I have a daughter and two wives. I have a wife and two daughters. I don't know what would be better. I'll take the two daughters. But anyway, I ended up, of course, spending a lot of time with the family, and because that's what you do on those things. And so I will try to get that done by the end of this week. That is my goal for this week, to get that done. And we're going to provide more ways for you guys to gain as well, because if you follow our signals and you do, okay, all right, there, and this is where you want to put the trade in, and this is what you want to do. And here's the thing, you don't always win, but you don't have to always win. You just have to win more times than you lose. 95% of traders don't win. 95%. So it's a big transfer of money. The markets are a big transfer of money between the people that know how to win and the people that don't. Remember, 5% of the people win and 95% lose. So you want to be in that 5%. And if 95% are losing, that's a lot of money, guys. That's a lot of money to get. It's a lot. It's a lot. Okay. It's a lot of money out there. He did finish up with Ton coin. Ton coin is one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite coins. I'm super long on Ton. And he did talk about Ton. Let me just make a note here for myself here. Actually, I'm going to Ton. Talking about the Ton coin. At Ton blockchain. At 43. So I'm super long on Ton because they have so far to go. Also, one of my favorite meme coins, dog or flower. Guys, if you bought dog or flower, as I was talking about it over the last weeks, you are so happy right now. It's up over 100% from the dip. Up over 100%. You're up over 100%. I love looking at my wallet. Like, yes. Dog or flower. And guys, we have a lot. I think we have a long way to go. I think we have a long way to go for dog or flower. I mean, actually, I know that we have a long way to go. So just to give you a little bit more about it. So the Ton ecosystem is like, it's just exploding. So you have, so this is the guys that set this up. The guys that set up Ton are the Telegram guys. Okay. So the Telegram guys have, obviously they have this huge, I mean, you don't get a bigger network than Telegram. Okay, you don't get a bigger one. I mean, that's about as big as it gets. Okay. So then you start saying, okay, so these coins that are on the TON network, they're still pretty undervalued, in my opinion. Well, I mean, I think anybody's been dog or flower. Let's look at this guy today. So even in a market retrace, share this tab instead. Even in a market retrace across the board, we're up over 10% on the 24-hour. Look at this. Look at this. Where am I? Here we go. Up 10%. 9.96% on the 24 hours. Okay. Let me just go on the daily here. Look at this. Look at this chart, guys. Might have to reload the page here. Here we go. I don't know why it's floating like that. The dog or flower. There should be a button for me to do it. But anyway, it's not loading how I want it to load for whatever reason. You get the idea. Dog or flower. Dog or flower. Is it a dog or is it a flower? And this thing, guys, is cruising. So we were buying. I was buying at 400,000 market cap. It's like $1 million market cap right now. The most memeable dog on time. The most memeable dog on time. So at $1 million market cap, where it is right now, we go to $10 million market cap, which is so easy for something like this. That's 10x. It's 10x, guys. Put 100 grand, you got $1 million. Put 10, you got 100,000. The team behind this one, the guys behind this one, I know them. They participated in other projects that I'm involved in. They don't care, man. They just go, and that's what you need. You need guys just don't care. You're going for it. They're just going for it, right? Dog or flower. Dog or flower. I love that one. You can get them on. You can get that dog or flower on the DEX. Let me just put below where you can get that. Let me just put there. So what you do is you follow. I'm going to put the link. This is the DEX screener, and then you just follow it to trade. Okay. To trade. Let me just add that to my string here. To buy. I'll say to trade, right? To trade dog or flower on TON. Follow the link. Actually, I have it all set right over here. I have it all right here. How to buy dog or flower. I'm in the moment. I forgot. Let me just put that right here. How to buy dog or flower. To buy or. Oh, I got it right here. I got it all right here. So it's right on my X here. To buy dog or flower on TON. All right, today. Boom. All right, so that's right underneath my post there. To buy dog or flower. I know. You could have bought it $500,000. It sat at $500,000 for a long time. It sat at $500,000 for weeks. You did it, and now it's $1 million. Okay. You could have already doubled your money. But it's okay. We're going to do it again. Not financial advice. All that good stuff I'm supposed to say. Okay. It's not financial advice. These are highly speculative assets. I get paid to do this stuff. You are warned. You have been warned. Let me see here. And the Fed. Is Trump going to jail? Do you guys think he's going to jail? I think Trump's going to jail. I hope he's not going to jail. He might be going to jail. I'll tell you this, guys. I'll tell you this. You're going to want money. You're going to want lots of assets. If the whole house goes up in flames, you want gold, you want silver, you want crypto, you want lots of steak in the freezer, you want lots of ammo, lots of weapons. You know, I'm not saying, I'm not promoting any type of bad stuff here. I'm just saying that's what you want. The US dollar is in trouble. You got BRICS going on. You got Russia and China. They basically ditched it all. You got these central bankers. Everybody's on now to the central banking cartels deal. Everybody's on to it. They're on to it, guys. They're on to it. Nobody likes being ruled. So what we have basically now is we're like, it's kind of all getting into different kind of little bit of factions here. We have those who have noticed and are saying something. You have those who have noticed that don't know what to do about it. You have those who have noticed that are just like, okay, forget it. I don't mind being ruled. It's the way it is. They're in charge of everything. There's nothing you can do about it. You have the ones that are in on it. A lot of different factions. Not really good for cohesiveness of anything. Speaking of getting out of control, these assets that we can use, these are something else, okay? So these are highly speculative assets. They're speculative assets, guys, as I always talk about, okay? And you know, don't ever trade more than you're willing to lose. General rule of thumb. One of them that I did really well on is Colon. COLON. So actually, I've noticed this one. I put out a post on Colon. This is the dog. I'll pull up my post actually. Dollar from works. Boom. Here it is right here. So I put out this post. Share the screen instead. Colin, the father of Doggy or Doge, however you want to say it. Basically, this guy is the father of all meme coins to ever exist, including Shiba, Floki, Bonk, Kishu, Nero, and Doge family. I aped a bag. Put their Telegram, their Dex tools. And it did pretty well. And then it kind of petered off. And I thought, well, shoot, you know, that's how it goes, right? Sometimes on a lot of these, you got to get in and you get out. That's the way it works. You get in and you get out. Then as I'm always tracking these things, then, okay, so let me share the screen instead. Actually, let me do this. Okay, so I'm here. Yeah, so you can see this one, colon. Let me just share this tab instead. Bam, here we go. So I made the call Let me see here. I made the call somewhere in here. We had a nice big pump up. Nice big pump. Okay. And then you can see this thing, it just went down. And shoot. You know, here we are. You know, that's the way it goes sometimes, right? Boom. And then it just boom, boom. Looked like it was like, oh no, dead. And then this is community, guys, right here, right? 3.6 million in volume as I'm talking about this. Boom. We're at about a $2.5-3 million market cap right now. This thing popped up to 10-15 million. And then now it has done the same thing. Come back down here. So these ones are tricky, guys. No doubt about it. But you can, you know, these are the ones. You can 3x, 5x, 10x on these bad boys. Like, boom. Okay. So we've done basically the same thing here. Now on a different scale here. And we're here. And you can see already this pump has started. Looks like the last 5 minutes since I started talking about it, it was like 18% since we started talking about it. Let's look at the website here. This is the website. I'm not a robot. I'm not allowing. What the heck are you talking about? All right, well, never mind about all that. Never mind about all that. I'm not allowing anything. I'll go back over here to my chart. Colin. Here he is. Here's their Twitter, their X account. So, you know, these meme coins, there's something else, guys. You know, a lot can happen here with these meme coins. Hello, there's my friend, Ahmed. Ahmed joined for a minute. Okay, here we are. The father of the dog family. I will post how to buy this as well underneath. This is on the Ethereum network. Expecting a press release for Colin to come out today. This will help increase the SEO, make Colin appear when people search on Google. That's awesome, guys. Grok knows. Colin is the father of dog. Doge. What is the crypto token of dog's father? They asked. Answer. The world's family tree gets more complicated than a Shakespeare drama. From the depths of X posts and cryptic corners of the internet, it appears that the token dubbed as dog's father or Doge's father goes by the name of Colin. Yes, you've heard that right. Colin. Not to be confused with any punctuation marks or medical conditions. Colon. I guess is maybe how you're supposed to say it. This token, colon, I never got doggy right either. I still call it Doge doggy. So it only makes sense I would call his father Colin or colon. This token, colon, has been celebrated as the progenitor of all dog-themed meme coins, including the OG Doge coin itself. It's like finding out that your favorite meme has a grandparent and that the grandparent is also a meme. The community seems to be rallying around Colin, with some enthusiasts on X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, suggesting it's the next big thing in the meme coin family, especially after it hit a market cap of 9 million, which in crypto terms is like saying it's got legs or it's got paws. It's Monday. Be prepared for the moon trip. So look, these are a lot of fun. These tokens can be a lot of fun. You can make a lot of money at them. You really can. You can lose a lot of money too. Okay, you gotta. These are these are risky assets, but they can move. They can move, and a coin like that, you take a coin or colon, however you want to say it, and that if they are able, and they've been now had 2 big pumps, if they are able to capture the enthusiasm of the Doge community, of this dog meme community, okay, I mean, the sky is the limit. You look at, you could have $1 billion market caps. I mean, we're sitting at like $2 or $3 billion market cap, $1 million market cap right now. Go to $1 billion, and that's, man, I don't care. That's life changing. That's life changing. I can't tell you that, even myself, I can't tell you the number of people though that I know that got involved in like Pepe or one of these other ones, and it went to a multi-billion-dollar market cap. And yeah, I mean, their life is totally different now. Life is completely different. You put $10,000 on a coin in a at $1 million, it goes to $1 billion, and add those zeros, gets pretty interesting. It does. It gets pretty interesting, guys. So I would say it's big week. It is a big week. Of course, we have DNC. Speaking of dogs, this is great. I'm going to share this. This is awesome. This is Dr. Cracks. I found this last night. This is great. Watch this.
Alles gut. Okay. Gut.
I love the way they look at him.
Okay.
Ihr Blick.
Alles gut? Alles gut? Ja? Gut. Willst du mich jetzt angreifen?
This guy.
Gut. Alles gut. Alles gut.
Speaking of dogs, man's best friend. That's Dr. Cracks. I came across Dr. Cracks last night. He's cracking those dogs, and man, that looks pretty good. I want some cracks. I need some cracks. If I ever had to reinvent myself again, I would maybe become a chiropractor. That looks like a lot of fun. Crack people all the time. Crack. I crack my own back all the time. I'm actually not sure. I know a lot of times when you're cracking other people's backs, it can be a little rough, right? So Jackson Hole all week. These guys are going to go on. And then I think what we're going to get is some interest rates. They're going to further say that we are getting interest rate reductions. But in the meantime, markets are going to go sideways, right? Although we may have finished these corrections. I'm just kind of looking at the markets here again. Yeah, may have finished these corrections. So another one I wanted to bring up here was my good friends over at Polk Gold. Polk Gold has been performing very nicely. Polka P Gold. Now, you know that I am a big proponent of Polka Gold. And one of the reasons why I'm such a big proponent of Polka Gold is because of their lock liquidity. Let me just making sure of this. So Polka Gold and Dalgo, their meme coin Dalgo. So what Polka Gold did was they were launched anonymously by, and I talk about them a few times now, quite a bit, I would say. They were launched anonymously by whales of Polkadot and Algo. PolkaGold.tech. And they locked all the liquidity. So as Algorand goes up, they have the locked liquidity. There were no team tokens or anything like that. So everyone had to buy them. Everybody's paid a certain amount for the coins. Okay. And it's a nice structure. And they have the locked liquidity. So right now, probably it's one of the lowest points. You figure Algorand is a great ecosystem. Algorand is not the normal folks that we have running everything, not the central bankers. Okay, these are Italian guys that put this together, and they have a great ecosystem. And so Algorand right now at their, let's see, total supply, let's see here, the all-time low. Let me just share this now. Share this tab. So this is built on Algorand. This is Algorand right here. Now the all-time low on Algorand is 8.7 cents. And that was September 11th a year ago. September 11th, 2023. So we're not even double the all-time low. So now the all-time high is $3.28. Okay. 1 year. There we go. This is the year. This is the all-time low right here, or right here. Boom. We went up to 30 cents, 31 cents here in March. And of course, we've had this pullback. That's the halvening pullback and everything else. So even if we just go up to 30 cents again, we're about 3x from here. Okay, 2.5, 3x from here. Now, if Algorand triples and the Polka Gold is anchored with Algorand, okay, not only should it triple, not financial advice and all that stuff, but as more people are buying in because they understand how the Polka Gold is working, the price should even go up higher, more quick than the Algorand. Okay. Now their meme coin, which is Dalgo, Dalgo.tech. This is like the advertising branch. That's how I see it. Okay, you got Dalgo. Dalgo, meet the meme frog with business savvy. Now, what they did when they launched Dalgo was the same thing. They did the same thing, guys. They launched with actually over 10% of the total supply of P Gold. They put in liquidity pools for Dalgo. Full disclosure, I'm long on these assets, okay? I'm long, but for good reason. I like for you guys to have a nice way in, but I want you to have a nice way out too, okay? And, you know, with a lot of these meme coins and stuff, not this one because it has a lot of liquidity and whatnot, and a nice entry point at this point, I think. But with a lot of them, you know, they might go up 100 or 200 or 300%, and then they go down just as fast, and you might not have a way out as much, okay? But with this one, with Polka Gold and the Dalgo, and look at this guy. I mean, talk about a lovable little guy, right? El Dalgo the Suave, the founder and the CEO. El Dalgo the Suave isn't just any frog. He's the dapper charismatic leader of the Dalgo Empire, rocking a bow tie that screams sophistication and wielding a business acumen sharper than the frog's tongue, catching flies. El Dalgo leads the project with a perfect blend of humor and strategic brilliance. He can be found on weekends in the Lily Pond Speakeasy, playing with Spanish guitar. It's fun. It's fun. Their Twitter page is great too. Dalgo. And now this meme coin is basically, it's the meme coin of Polka Gold. All right, that's what's behind it. Hey, Algo fam, they're really supportive of the Algo ecosystem, which is absolutely great. This past Saturday, I hosted I hosted a workshop about building Python on Algorand. I'm excited to share some highlights. They had 284 registrations. Might be a great space for anyone in the HTTP. Algo is a partner with Constellation. 368 tuned in. I should have tuned in for that. You can see here. Good morning, all. Dalgo is its own fable. Oh, this is great. I love these. This is funny.
Isn't the right thing to do? How can I never change things that I feel?
Have you guys seen this?
If I could, maybe I'd build you.
When are they going to come up? AI is crazy, guys. AI is absolutely crazy. AI, I miss these algo chats. All right, I'm going to have to start topping in these algo chats. It's very important to see and be seen. Like this then. So the way it works with these assets, of course, is you get a bag and then you start pumping your bag. You start pumping your bag. Yes. I think that, let's see here, Polka Gold. Anyway, so check these out, guys. I'm going to continue to talk about them too, so that of course makes a difference. Look at what we did with OR. Look at what we did. I mean, man, good stuff. It's good stuff. All right. Well, I am good today. It's been a lot of fun, as it always is. I'll be back on your TV sets in about 5 hours. And I will be working away. Stay liquid, my friends.
Your voice is powerful. When combined with social engagement, it's a force for change. Decentralized media paired with free speech is the catalyst for an empowered world and a unified, invaluable ecosystem. Join Global Boost, become a champion of free speech, and help to reshape the future of media.